This is Sahant, and you're watching Mezrab Storytelling, stories from around the world. Once a month, storytellers gather in the Mezrab Cafe to tell true stories. This is one of them.
Okay. So, that's a lot of people. Okay, so my name is Berber, and I came here from Brussels, obviously, and I didn't prepare a story, but I know that at the Mezrab there are a lot of men that stand here on this spot, and I know that a lot of these men are the real ones. The Zacks, as we might call them, I don't know. But they tell these stories, and I was just in the break, I was telling one of these, I was talking with him, and I was like, why do these women, why do they never have a proper space in the story? Why do they never talk? Why do they never do anything? Why is that? And then he said, well, my friend, you just get up on stage and tell me one of your feminist stories. What is a feminist story anyway? But I didn't prepare any story. But I came here all the way from Brussels. And I am actually a tour guide in Brussels. I'm a colleague, of course. And so I thought, I'll just let you pick a story that I will tell you from Brussels. And then I'll just turn it into a feminist story. Okay, so we are now in Amsterdam and we know all that. But I'm gonna take you to Brussels. What are we gonna see in Brussels? Yes. Manneke Piss, toch? Right? Okay, so we're gonna see Manneke Piss. So Manneke Piss, for hands up if you know Manneke Piss. Hands up if you saw Manneke Piss. Hands up if you were disappointed when you saw Manneke Piss. So for those people who haven't seen Manneke Piss ever, he is a little statue. It is a boy and he is peeing. And he's very small, he's about the size of this bottle. And so I live in Brussels, and my favorite pastime of the day is to go to the little square crossroad where we have Manneke Piss. And around Manneke Piss it's completely filled with tourists. And these tourists come from far, they come from Japan, Malaysia, Australia, Colombia. And then the most lovely thing about it is to see the disappointment on the faces. Like even their cameras are bigger than the little boy you see there. And what is also really funny about Manneke Piss is that nobody really knows the story. We know Manneke Piss, but what is the story behind it? Is there anybody of you who has heard a story of Manneke Piss? Kind of knows what he did?
There was a fire.
Very good. Well, this is one of the stories. There's a fire. There's another story that was actually about a gunpowder plot against Brussels. Gunpowder plot, gunpowder all around the city walls of Brussels. There was only one fuse. There was one little boy. And this little boy was standing on the walls, the city walls of Brussels, and he saw the danger of his city. He saw the fuse that was moving in the direction of the gunpowder. So Of course, this is a heroic story, a very manly story, and this this little boy saved the city by peeing out the fuel and saving the city. Very nice, manly story. So today I'm going to give you 3 versions. This was the first version. Now I'm going to give you the second version. It's even more heroic. And then I'm going to tell you the third version of Manneke Pis, which is actually the true story. So the second version, also with a lot of war and danger and things, because I mean, in the 15th century there were a lot of dukes around there in Belgium, and basically all these dukes, what they were doing, they were all fighting each other. That was basically their main pastime. So the Duke of Brussels, he was fighting another enemy army, but the Duke of Brussels died in battle. And he had only one son, very little boy, only 2 years old, but he became the new Duke. And the new Duke needed to lead his troops into battle. And because he was only 2 years old, he was not really suited for that, but the soldiers, they were not discouraged, and they put little Manneke Pis, it was not called Manneke Pis yet, into a basket. Why not? They're Belgians. So they put the basket up into a tree, and they continued battle. But the battle wasn't really going the way of the army of Brussels. And the enemy army approached all the way up into the tree where the little Duke was sitting in his basket. And the little Duke saw all of these enemy faces around him. And the Duke, the little Duke, he was filled with this blood, Duke blood running through his veins. The only thing he wanted was to fight other enemy Dukes. So when he saw this army of the enemy, he decided to. No? Yeah, of course. He was decided to fire at the enemy army with the only weapon he had at his disposal. And after he did that, and the enemy army got all wet, our army, the army of Brussels, was so inspired that they won the battle in the end. And this is version number 2. And now we get to the real story. Because the real story is not so heroic. It is not so manly. I will tell you now, and you are all witnesses, of the real story behind Manneke Pis. Manneke Pis was a little boy who did something that I do not recommend to any of the men here in the room, or any man in general. He peed against the house of a witch. And the witch was a very intelligent woman, and she cursed the little boy for the rest of eternity. This happened in the 15th century. Can you imagine? This little boy has been cursed for eternity, has been there for more than 700 years, and still today, people come from Japan, from Malaysia, from Australia, from Colombia, and they come to this little part of Brussels. They see Manneke Pis, and the only reaction they have is, oh my God, it is so small.